Indiana Fashion Week is an initiative of Indiana Fashion Foundation, a 501c3 organization. Our mission is to enrich the business of fashion in the state through collaboration and providing industry resources to Indiana. The focus of our efforts includes attracting and retaining talents, increasing tourism, and creating partnerships. The week includes the Youth Designer Challenge, runway shows, and a scholarship presentation to the winner of the INDFW Emerging Designer Competition. The Indiana Fashion Foundation produces programs for youth interested in fashion and entrepreneurship. Also featured as a part of Indiana Fashion Week is the Making It in Fashion Industry Conference, which is a gathering of both statewide and national industry leaders who engage in insightful discussion that spans the history of fashion. These discussions aid in continuously moving the needle forward. Indiana Fashion Week is an annual engagement of the creative community that makes up for the fashion ecosystem of Indiana. We are dedicated in connecting the world of fashion, strengthening the industry of fashion, securing the future of fashion.
Hello, everyone. I am Denisha DeLange. I'm the founder of Indiana Fashion Foundation and Indiana Fashion Week. And so I'm super excited to bring with you some amazing youth who are interested in the fashion industry. And actually, they're not just interested in the fashion industry, they're actually taking steps as a youth to actually pursue that career. So I started designing when I was in my teens, and I actually produced my first show at age 15. And so it was really important for me along this journey to always include youth. And because I know how it is being a kid out in the world trying to actually pursue a career. And it's really important to have a safe space, an inspiring space, a space where they can just learn and grow. And so I want to introduce you to three amazing youth. We have Zairion. He is a fashion designer. We have Mary. Mary is a model and on her way to be a mogul. We also have Ella. Ella is an amazing fashion designer as well. Each one of them participated in Indiana Fashion Week last year. And so one of my biggest things is to continue with those who have participated in the shows to be outside of just a show. So looking for other opportunities for them. So I'm going to stop talking and we're going to actually dive into this interview right now. And so what we're going to do is start with Ella first. So Ella, I did talk about you being a designer, but tell me more about you and then what you also do in the fashion industry.
So I love designing really dresses. That's my biggest thing. I love designing dresses. Here lately, I have been pushing my boundaries and seeing what I really want to do. I have been doing just normal dresses to wear, like out to go eat, whatever. And then I have also been doing kind of like experimenting with older fashion, so like 1950s, 1940s. I have also been working on younger, like kids clothing, so like little girls dresses. And I've even gotten to the point where I've been working on swimsuits.
Oh, wow.
Trying to see if that's maybe what I want to do. And I mean, it's fun. It's difficult. I'm just trying to see what all I want to do, and I'm just trying to try everything to see what I like best. And
that's awesome. I love that. I love the fact that you did like just try it. Because that's what I did. I was like, okay, I'm gonna do I'm gonna do jerseys. I'm gonna do neckties. I'm gonna do wedding dresses. Like I just was doing all kind of things to see what I liked and what I did not like.
Mm-hmm.
So that's super great that you're doing that. Well, thank you for joining us for this call, and I'm loving your dresses behind you.
Thank you.
Which one is like? Can you show the one with the flowers in the back?
This
Show a little
one,
bit
okay.
more. Oh, you can leave
This,
it. You can leave it hung. Okay, got the top part, the
yeah.
chiffon.
This one is what I was kind of saying, the 1940s, 1950s. I had actually gotten this fabric for sale because no one was wanting it, so I got it. And these two dresses, actually, these were design challenges that I gave myself.
Mm-hmm.
And so this I gave myself 12 hours to work on, and this I gave myself 24 hours to work on. And so when I had seen this fabric, I got inspired to do like this 1940s, 1950s tea party dress, kind of like inspired from when I had watched the movie The Help.
Okay.
And seeing their dresses, I really liked them. And so I tried to do that, but I also did add my own little touch with, you can't really see from the hanger, but they're poofy shoulders.
Okay.
They come out, and then the neck line is almost like a choker, and it has red beads going down, which I really, really liked. And the small dress, the skirt is very, very poofy, and I really like that. So
I love it. Well, we'll dive probably some more. I see a couple more back there. I'm like, okay, I love this detail, the ruching, the gathering. Okay, so yeah, we'll get back to that. So thank you again. All right, Mary, tell us about yourself and what you do in the industry.
Hi, I'm a model, and I got signed with LModelz in around October 2018, and I am really interested in runway. That is more like my thing. And print, I'm not too bad with print, but I would just say like high fashion is like more my thing, not really commercial, but yeah. Runway is where I'm at.
Okay. Well, let's see some of your pictures. Like, hold up your portfolio. Let's see.
This is my portfolio. This is one of my favorite pictures. This was the first picture I received when I got signed.
That's significant.
Thank you. And then I did this photo shoot with William Photography. That's his Instagram.
Yeah, I love him.
And then I have this one. Whoa.
Beautiful.
With Pattern Magazine. And I have this photo. It's like kind of like a JCPenney shoot.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
I did this with John. He's in Chicago. Yeah, that's just a few pictures.
So in the modeling industry, like I see it's a variety of different shots that you had in there. Is there a certain particular like type of shoot? I know you said more runway, but
yeah,
like a certain like vibe that you like the most, whether it's runway or print.
I would have to say more like serious look for my photo shoots. Because, you know, it brings that more high fashion look to it. So.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for joining us again today. I'm excited to see what your thoughts are about the fashion industry. All right, Zairion, tell us about yourself and then what you do in the fashion industry, and then also show us what you got going on in the background.
Okay, well, my name is Zairion, of course, and I'm 17 years old, and I live in Evansville, Indiana. And I would say my goal, did you ask for my goal?
Well, what you do in the fashion industry?
Okay, well, I do fashion design, and I'm working towards that, so, yeah.
Okay, and then, when you talk about a goal, that's fine. We were just doing introduction, so tell us about yourself and your.
Well, then one of my biggest goals, I would say, is to build like a fashion empire. So yeah.
So like a fashion house.
Yeah.
And then the components of what it's going to take to make that garment there, like a manufacturer. Okay, that's kind of like my dream, a part of it. Awesome. Let's talk about your design in the back.
Well, I really like unconventional like designs and stuff like that. So is one I'm working on right now. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. All right. And you got your sewing machine, so you're already ready.
Yeah. After this, yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you again for each one of you introducing yourself. And that gives us a great insight, just a base on like the conversation today. So we're going to go into what made you want to be in the fashion industry. And then if there's any barriers you've had, so that your decision to do it, and then any barriers that you've already experienced. So whoever wants to start. Does anybody have any? Oh, go ahead, Ella.
So about a year and a half ago, I was in a pretty sad and gloomy place. I did music before fashion, and my studio had closed down. And I spent like every single night of the week there. That was what made me happy. That's what made me, that's what kept me busy. That's what I filled my time with and made me happy. Well, that closed down, and I had sewed a little bit a few years prior to that, but it was never really anything big. It was just kind of like small little projects, like little purses, nothing too big. And then when my studio closed down, I started to try and find different things that could fill in that void of not having anything to do. So I started to pick back up sewing, and within a few months, I had learned already just so much. And that's when my dad got in contact with Nikki Blaine Couture. And she had sent over the information for Indiana Fashion Week, and I was just over ecstatic. I was just so happy because that just opened up so many opportunities for me, and I was just so happy. And I got to experience all the amazing things from Indiana Fashion Week, and it was just a whole nother world. And I had never thought that I'd be able to experience something like that, but now it's to the point where it's like, that's the stuff that I'm working forward to experience more of. And I'm just so excited and happy, and I'm just ready for all of it.
And that's amazing too. Like, I'm super excited. It like gives me chills. Like anytime somebody's like how beneficial it is, because it's a lot of work. Just like anything you do is going to be work, and the whole purpose is to be impactful to others, so that it can help launch you in your career, help you establish some connections or opportunities, help you learn. So I'm super happy to hear that. And then it's interesting how you talked about, like one thing closed with the music studio, and then the emotions you felt from that, then you being able to move forward in this space. And oftentimes in life, you have these transitions where one door closes, but another one always opens. So that's interesting in that. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of other youth going through that as well, So, okay. What about Mary? What about you? Any like reasons for you to be in the fashion industry, but then also any barriers you've experienced?
I kind of was just influenced to do it from my friend Kaylee. She got signed with the LModelz when she was like 12 years old, and she's 17 now. So that kind of inspired me. I went to one of her fashion shows, and I was just amazed on like high fashion and like all the work they put into it, That kind of inspired me. So I went online with the LModelz and went to a call out meeting, and then she signed me. So
awesome. And I'm super excited that we have our agencies like that here in Indiana to be able to bridge that gap to bigger markets. And Indiana is growing. Yeah, exactly. So have there been any barriers you've experienced or anything so far? Or
they might not like your look, so they won't choose you for certain things, and that can be really hard because you want to stay busy and get more work, but sometimes you're not always the look for that. But there's always other opportunities, and when you do fashion shows, other people might become interested in you and want you to work for them. So it always works hand in hand, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, Zairion, what made you want to do fashion, and then what type of barriers have you experienced?
Well, I would say I always liked fashion from like a younger age, but just recently, well, not recently, I guess like 4 or 5 years ago when I met Miss Gardner, well, Emily Gardner, and she taught me how to sew. Like I really found a love for it, and just like the process and like sewing the garment and stuff like that. I really found a love for it, and like I've always been quiet, so and shy, so like I kind of found my voice in like sewing and creating like art, which is like fashion, of course. So I think that's why I've always liked it or loved it. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. And then what about, have there been any barriers you've experienced?
Ooh. I would say like during the process of like sewing or like.
Yeah, just in general, just like you trying to get into the industry, or, you know, you sewing, any area.
I would say
that was just a barrier for you.
I would say, well, what has to do with sewing on the subject of that is just like making my own patterns and stuff, because I do make my own patterns. So then like making the patterns is like harder for me, but I'm learning slowly.
Okay, awesome. So if you could tell someone, you know, anyone in Indiana that has like the resources to invest in programs that help you, what would you tell them, and what would you tell them that would mean to you?
This past year, this has been like my biggest dream ever. So if there were any more resources that I could reach out to or that I can find, that would be the biggest help, because I have been working my butt off this past year. And so just having more resources to help get me out there, to just inform me more, just helped me in total, that would mean the world to me, and I know for many other designers as well, because it is hard for youth to get out there, but with your help, and I know Emily's help, and well, with Nikki, she had helped me and pushed me forward, and with all this help, it really, really does help. And so if there were other people out there who would invest in not just money, but time, and information, that would just help so much, and it would mean a lot.
Okay, what about you, Zairion?
Yeah, I definitely agree with Ella. Like knowledge is like the best like thing they can ever invest in us. So like if they can just like give us knowledge and like teach us like different things in the business, in the fashion business, that can like really help. And then, you know, it's just like a cycle. So then when we get older, then we can give it to the youth.
That's my hope. No.
Yeah.
Exactly. So being able to be like a mentor, because I know like there's so many things I bumped my head on because I just didn't know, you know, so many places I probably shouldn't have been, but I just didn't know. Like, you know, you're trusting people and then you just don't have that guidance. So that's really great. Like both of you said something about mentorship in that, what you just spoke. What about you, Mary? What would you say to them?
What follows along with that is getting more connections, like working with more photographers, doing more shows. You can like get yourself out there more, exposure, more practice, which would really help and get you noticed by bigger agencies. So
okay, all right. So mentorship opportunities, practical opportunities where you can actually apply what you learned and actually be able to do it, and also get paid doing it, you know, but also if it's internships, that you're open to those too as well. And then of course money. So I hear a lot of different things in there, but one of the biggest things is just really just being in some way supporting the youth, because you have a voice, you have talent, and why not take the time now to be able to develop in that? Because guess what? If you do that now, there's no telling where you will be by the time you're 18, 25, 30, and so forth, you know, and how much impact you've made with other people. Like you said, Zairion, you would be able to come back and help others. All right, everyone. So you've heard directly from these amazing youth who are interested in the fashion industry. And again, they're beyond interested. They're actually pursuing careers in this. It's about fashion, of course, that's what we do. But it's beyond that. It's more like whatever a youth wants to do, definitely find ways to support them in this, because there's no telling where they will be in however many years, because they had that mentorship. They actually was able to understand some of the business or the business aspect of it. And they just had some, you know, support to be able to guide them in a positive way that really can show them the way. And we will, we look forward to sharing more. So just visit IndianaFashionWeek.com. That's IndianaFashionWeek.com. You can also visit IndianaFashionFoundation.org. That's IndianaFashionFoundation.org. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.